All right, hello. Welcome back to episode 10 of Sudoku with Tsvetii. We'll be doing another medium puzzle today. Hope everyone has been doing well thus far. So far, we're looking at this puzzle. We know that this will be our 1, which means that this will be our 1, which means that we have a 1 potentially there and a 1 potentially there. And that is 7 of our 1s already solved for. We do know 2 is there, which means 2 will be there. Anything else we can solve with 2 so far? And it's not anything definitive at this moment. So we'll go to 3, not much doing there. So 4s, we will be able to do some work as Agatha starts hopping on my desk. You doing okay, Agatha? Good little girl. She's wagging her tail like she wants to say something. Is little Timmy stuck in a well? Aw, I don't know if you could hear that, but she meowed ever so faintly. Alrighty. We will have a 5 there, which means that 5 will be there or there. We do know 5 has to be up here. We know 5 will be one of these 3 as well. So going towards our 6s, we know 6 has to be up here, which means 6 has to be down here. Anything else we can solve with 6? We know 6 is there, which means 4 will be there. Anything else? We know 6 has to be here. We know 6 has to be right there as well. I think we have kind of sketched out where all the 6s will be, which is pretty good. Going to the 7s real quick. What's up, Agatha? We know so it has to be right there, and that is really all we can do. We only have 7 of those, so we know 8 is there, which is nice. So we know that 7 and 8 are the only 2 numbers that can be right there. We know 8 has to be there, which means 8 is here, which means we can fill in that 2 real quick. We know 8 will be one of those numbers, or one of those tiles. Going to the 9s, we know 9 has to be over here, which means that 9 is up here or here. We know 9 is down here. And anything else we can do with 9s? No, but we will go ahead and start filling stuff out here. Like we know that will be 3. We know that can be a 3 or a 6 here. We know we can go ahead and sketch this out. Like we know this could potentially be an 8, and we're looking at what else are we looking for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or a 9. So now it has to be an 8 or a 9. And then this is another one we can do and fill in a little bit. Like we know that is a 3 or a 5 in both of these tiles. We know this can be a 3. We know it's 3, 5. So we know that'll be could potentially be a 5. And what is the other one that we're missing? We're missing 2. So we know 2 could be right there or there. But we know 2 officially has to be right there. But anyways, let's go back through our numbers one more time. Alrighty. Not bad so far. Oh, Lord. I will say I had the day off today, and I had the most refreshing nap I think I've possibly ever had. I literally just fell asleep probably like 2 p.m. and woke up around 4, and it was just bliss. I woke up, I didn't even know where I was. I was just like, oh, that feels nice. Because I have been struggling with sleep recently, but it's not it's nothing serious or anything like that, but it's just nice to be able to be afforded the luxury of being able to close your eyes every now and then. We know 3 and 5 have to be both right there. Anything else we can do? You know what's really funny? I actually did an extreme puzzle on the website earlier, and it took me 15 minutes. Which, you know, that just shows you when you got your brain locked in and your noggin going, what beautiful things you can do. And I think, I hope everyone can take something from that. Whew, excuse me. And make a little positive progress for yourself today. whatever that may entail in your life. Well, we know 7, 8 is here. So we can kind of look at these 2s here. Like we know that can be a 2. Like a 2 has to be there. We know it's 3 and 5, but we know that is a 3. And we know that's 2, 5, 3, 5, 2, 3. So we have filled out those, and so we're generally, or not generally, we are gradually grasping at the proverbial straws and trying to figure out what else we can do here. Like we know those could potentially be 2s. Let's see. 3s we know have to be here. 4 is over here. 4 is here as well. So 5s have to be here. 6s can be right there and right there. Potentially 7s are up here. 8s and then 9. Which is strangely enough the one that could fit almost anywhere. What are we missing in this column? 3 and 9? Yeah. So we're missing 3 and 9 over here. Which kind of makes me think that this would be over here. Like this would be 3 and 9 and it's just 2 and 7 up here. Well, we know 7 has to be up there. So I could mark down a 2 there as well. Excuse me. Excuse me. Starting to fall asleep at the wheel here. We know that could potentially be a 3 or 9, and this is potentially a 3 or 9 as well. So we're gradually putting numbers across the board, and hopefully we can start trying to use our noggin a little bit to find any patterns, because that is one thing that I love about Sudoku, is that it works and fires the pattern solving areas in your brain, in that left brain, because I am pretty much right-brained, if I did so have to say. This is weird. I heard this chord progression in this song playing, and I thought this was Sabora Minya by Artem Pimenova. I think so. Fantastic song. It's in Russian, but fantastic song. If any of you want to try to give that song a listen. Very weird note out of literally nowhere, but very good song. Now, let's see. We know that 2 has to be up here. We know 2's probably up here, if I had to hazard a guess. I mean, if we're doing numbers here, you know, percentages, you know, it's 75% chance of being up here, while it's well, technically it's a 66.66 up here and a 33 down here, so we're just going to take our time. What could this be potentially? So we know it's not a 2, 5. We know it could be a 9, so it's 2, 5, 4, 9. So that's 2, 5. What is this? What is this? What is that? 2, 3, 9? Yeah. Missing 2, 3, 9 in that little section as well. So we know 1, yeah. I'm just trying to grasp at straws almost, it feels like. We're just trying to figure it out slowly. So 5, if 5 were to be here, let's just say that would be 3, which means that would be 5, that would be 3, which means this would be 2, which means that would be 5, and that would work. Okay, but I'm trying to like actually figure it out instead of just do guesswork and patch it up. But we can keep that in our back pocket for right now, because that sounds very plausible. Which means this would be a 9 up here, technically, in this make-believe world that we live in. Which means that would be a 3. which means this would be a 3. Yeah, this would be 3. Which means that would be 9. Which means this would be 9. Okay, let's come back to it. We'll focus on that. Let's go do one more quick loop before we start just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if it sticks or not. Let's see. Well, we know 6 could potentially be up here as well, so we know. I normally don't do it until I'm like kind of deep in the weeds on a puzzle like this. So I'm not just kind of guessing and checking and trying to make sure everything is working correctly. We know we have 2, 6, and 8 up here, so we can do 8 here and here. We cannot do it down here, so let's go to 7. I think I just did 7. If we solve that 7, that would really solve our 8s over here naturally. So we have a 2, 3, 9 here. Okay, let's just think. Because part of me wants to just start going through it because I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Whether it's a matter of getting tired or just not being able to see it at this point. But we'll go ahead and rock with it. We know that our guess was 5 here. Let's see. Could that even be plausible? Yeah, this would be 2, 5, or 4. Let's just fill it out a little bit, and let's see if we can stomach this. So if that's 2, you know, 2 has to be one of these. Actually, it would be 4 there, 2, 5, which would be 1, 4. Still looking good. Yeah, because that would have to be a 1 since that's the last one. Anything developing for our 2s here? No, not particularly. We know this would be our 3, which means that'll be a 3, which means this is 9. This is 3. Means this would be our 3. That'll be our 6. Okay, what am I missing over here? That'll be a 9, naturally, which means that is our 9. Oh, we made an oopsie. So we gotta go all the way back. Okay. We are looking good. We were good up to this point. And the crappy way of doing it is just saying, hey, we said this was 5 and it was wrong, so this has to be 5. Which I kind of don't want to do. So I'll just keep that in the back of my mind because I do want to try to solve it on my own and try to figure it out slowly but surely. Emphasis on slowly, but surely. And don't call me Shirley. Oops. Missing a 2, 3, Man, it just feels like I just don't got it today. It feels like. And that's okay. Sometimes we don't got it. But, which is one of the reasons why I've been enjoying doing this. And doing brain puzzles every day is even though some days we don't got it, doesn't mean that we can't try. We still can't try. And we have H5s, so we know that this last 5 will be up here. Awesome. We know that'll be our 2, and this will be our 9. That'll be our 4, which means this will be our 3. It's 2, 3. So we had the general idea. We had the correct idea and the correct vision, but just not the execution, which we know 3 will be there. We know 9 has to be there, which means 9 is over here. Which means that's 2 and 7. Which means this will be 6. Nope. We're at the 2. Put the 9 down there. We know this will be our 1 because that's the final 1 that we can have. We know this will be our 6. Which means that'll be our 6. Which means this will be our 8. That's our 9. That's our 9. Which means this will be our 6. This will be our 9. That'll be our last 6. Awesome, awesome. What are we missing in this column? 1, 2. We're missing 2, of course. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're missing 8. So this will be our 2, which this will be the 8. That's our 9. That's our last 9. We know that this will be an 8. This will be a 2. Be a 7, 8. Which means this will be the 7, 2. And then a 2 to finish off. That was a struggle bus. But I hope that even with all the klutz and clamor, as I like to proclaim instead of glitz and glamour, the klutz and clamor for struggling. But hey, it is absolutely okay to struggle every now and then. It's absolutely okay to not see things that are right in front of you. And sometimes all it takes is a deep breath, a little intuition, and that's all you can really hope for. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.